Hello everyone and welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday the 5th of September to Friday the 9th of September 2022. My name is Vishal, so let's get started. Alright, so let's begin with the Nifty analysis, and let's start with the monthly chart since we are in the month of September. We can see very clearly on the monthly chart that prices are consolidating. Nothing much has changed from the monthly time frame, and we can clearly see that prices are still holding on to this level of demand, and prices are now moving up. In fact, this month has started on a positive note. We are consolidating, but we are still a little wary about these upper levels over here. So monthly chart is more or less from bullish to sideways consolidation, as we can say. Let's go on to the weekly chart of the Nifty. On the Nifty weekly chart, we are still within this weekly supply. Although this level is tested right now, we are again trying to get into this area. And the moment we get into this area, there is some selling pressure coming in, which is indicating that there are still a few unfilled orders remaining here. Eventually, if the price tends to keep on piercing into this area is going to break out, and we might tend to see the Nifty crossing 18,163. But it's not going to be an easy task for the Nifty to break the level. Maybe it might take a week, few weeks or few months for the Nifty to do that. So right now, the monthly chart on the Nifty is in consolidation mode. The weekly chart is also more or less into a consolidation mode, reacting from a level of supply. If we go on to the daily chart, we see the same picture from last week. We've seen that the markets have taken a little bit of a help from this area, and the entire last week the markets have just been consolidating in this tight range. So if I just draw a box over here, and maybe I will just try to use this so this is that consolidation area, and if I just draw this box here, let me just so from 17,726 to 17,165, right? Markets are coming again back to test this range at the top. And it'll be interesting to see whether the 17,735 odd level, or maybe the high of this candle, tends to break and Nifty moves into this upper area over here, which is a level of supply. So this is something that we need to watch out for. It may happen, at least that is what the price action is suggesting. And if you look at the downside, 17,165 is going to be a strong support for the market. Prices are currently reacting from this level of demand, 17,153. Now, because the prices have just barely touched this area, there could be still a lot of demand over here. And in case, even if price comes here, there should be a bounce coming again from this level. So that is the expectation. If we look at the options volatility at the bottom, comparatively the volatility from last week to this week has significantly increased, and now we are in zone 3, which indicates that the option premiums are becoming expensive. So if you had entered into some kind of a debit strategy or some kind of a non-directional debit strategy around this area, then this strategy would be playing out pretty well for you guys. All right, so let's move on to an intraday chart now. And on the intraday chart, I'm just going to quickly bring up the 5-minute chart, because that's going to be the most interesting chart right now on the Nifty. And here you can see that this is that these are those bigger time frame levels, right? And just within the bigger time frame levels, there is a level on the 5-minute chart, which is a very, very interesting level, and the location of that level is also great. So if you look at the level that I'm talking about, it is this level over here, 17,858 to 17,906. This is a level to watch out for on the Nifty, because it is nicely sitting up above all this consolidation over here. So this level could potentially act as a market trap, and we could see a potential reversal on the Nifty from this area. The level of Nifty is currently far away. It's nearly 200 points far away from the current market price. But there's nothing great in between over here, right? So prices are just going to be consolidating between the highs and the lows, but this is an area to watch out for in the coming days or in the coming weeks on the Nifty, 17,858 to 17,906. Let's quickly move on to the Bank Nifty and let us see what the Bank Nifty is telling us. So let's start off with the monthly chart of Bank Nifty. Now, as compared to the Nifty, the Bank Nifty is the strongest index. So right now it is more or less continuing its move to the upside, and seems like we might hit the upper handle over here, which is close to around 41,800 odd levels. Demand is right here, and markets are consolidating. On the weekly chart, we are still within that supply zone. We have gone a little bit more deeper. So prices have gone a little bit more deeper. Initially we had this reaction, but as I said last week also, that this demand is a little crucial for the market. So this demand is going to play a very, very important and key role. And if this demand holds, then we might see Bank Nifty breaking out and crossing 40,276. So this is going to be an area to watch out for. Prices have moved deep into this supply zone, so we should not be wanting to initiate any fresh shots in this area unless and until we see a fresh level within that zone. If we move on to the daily chart, we are still in this area, and if the price happens to break out, then this area over here, which is this rally based drop, is going to be a very, very crucial area and might be a potential reversal point for the Nifty. तो अभी जो बैंक निफ्टी है वो थोड़ा सा सप्लाई में है, थोड़ा सा हमें केयरफुल रहना है क्योंकि यहाँ से प्राइस दोबारा रिवर्स हो सकता है. बट अभी मार्केट जो है वो कहीं बार इस सप्लाई जोन में ऑलरेडी आ चुका है, तो हो सकता है कि प्राइस यहाँ से और ऊपर जाए और ऊपर की सप्लाई से रिएक्ट करे. अगर हम वॉलेटिलिटी देखें बैंक निफ्टी का, तो हमें वॉलेटिलिटी एनालिसिस ये बता रहा है कि ऑप्शन के जो प्रीमियम्स है वो महंगे हो गए, दे आर बिकम एक्सपेंसिव. सो इनिशियली इन द पास्ट फ्यू वीक्स एंड मंथ्स वॉलेटिलिटी वाज वेरी, वेरी लो, लेकिन अभी वॉलेटिलिटी बढ़ रही है. सो अगर मार्केट में कोई भी एक रिवर्सल या डाउनसाइड मूव आता है, तो ये जो वॉलेटिलिटी है ये थोड़ा सा और स्पाइक अप हो सकता है, and then probably it will be a good opportunity for option sellers to step in and start planning some option selling strategies. So right now we are still playing a wait and watch game as to when that happens, और देखेंगे हम कि ये opportunity हमें sell side पे कब मिलती है. अगर हम बैंक निफ्टी का अगर इंट्राडे चार्ट देखें, so if we just go to quickly to a So on the intraday chart, the prices have made a new high, right? And अगर हम देखेंगे तो यहाँ से प्राइस काफ़ी मूव हो चुका है. अगर हम थोड़े से छोटे टाइम फ्रेम पे जाएंगे, सो बैंक निफ्टी ने यहाँ इस एरिया से एक बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग बाउंस दिया है, एंड दिस वाज दैट एरिया. और यहाँ पे मार्केट ने, इनफैक्ट बैंक निफ्टी ने एक नया हाई भी बनाया है, राइट. सो ये जो डिमांड है ये बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया है. अभी हम वापस इस डिमांड में एंट्री नहीं लेंगे क्योंकि प्राइस ऑलरेडी बहुत डीप पियर्सिंग दे चुका है. तो अभी जो भी डिमांड है बैंक निफ्टी पे वो शायद यहाँ इस पिक्चर में ही होगा. सो वी विल हैव टू जस्ट वेट एंड वॉच, एंड देयर इज़ नो क्लियर लेवल ऑफ बैंक निफ्टी डिमांड राइट नाउ. ऑल्सो द फैक्ट दैट वी आर अ लिटिल बिट हाई ऑन द कर्व, वी आर ऑल्सो क्लोजर टू और इनसाइड द सप्लाई. Taking or initiating any long trades aggressively on the bank nifty will not be a good idea. Okay, so just be careful, and it's better to play a little bit of a wait and watch game. अगर हम USDINR देखते हैं, so let's quickly have a look at the USDINR. USDINR went on to hit the 80 odd levels on the monthly chart. Again it is consolidating, so again USDINR moving up is also not a good sign because USD INR और निफ्टी जो है वो इन्वर्सली कोरिलेटेड है. अगर हम मंथली चार्ट देखें तो USD INR पे एक अच्छा सा मंथली डिमांड बन चुका है 7680 पॉइंट लेवल्स पे. सो गुड डिमांड जोन ऑन द daily chart, I'm sorry, on the monthly chart, and we also have this level of demand on the weekly as well, right? So this is that area of demand where prices can reverse. So right now USD INR is consolidating. अगर USD INR यहाँ से गिरता है, then there is a likely possibility that Nifty will move up, which in turn means that that is not going to be a good sign for the IT sector, because IT sector and the USD INR are positively correlated. Alright, so just watch out for the IT sectors, because we might see a little bit of weakening in the IT sectors in case if USD INR starts weakening and falling down. Alright, the sector for the week is the pharma sector. So let's quickly look at the pharma sector. And currently, if you look at the pharma sector on the monthly chart, this is the current scenario on the monthly chart. So let's remove all the tools and let's populate the demand zones and supply zones once again. So this is what we are seeing on pharma. Prices are more or less come into this tested level of demand, और यहाँ पे मार्केट जो है फार्मा जो सेक्टर है वो थोड़ा सा कंसोलिडेट हो रहा है. अगर हम वीकली चार्ट पे जाएंगे, prices are forming lower highs followed by lower lows, indicating that maybe the market wants to push a little bit to the downside. But now because we are in this monthly level of demand, we need to be a little careful with respect to shorting any kind of a pharma stock when the sector is coming into a level of demand. So once the sector comes into this level of demand, it's more or less prudent not to go short on pharma stocks. But currently the price is still far away from demand, so if you do see any weakness on pharma, that can be shorted in the current scenario. Alright, if you look at the intraday charts, especially the 75-minute chart, so there is this supply zone on the pharma sector, and the reason why I'm bringing up this supply zone on the pharma sector, because the pick of the week is going to be Dr. Reddy, which I'm going to showcase to you right now in a short while. And if we look at Dr. Reddy, there is a very, very similar zone on Dr. Reddy, which is also more or less coinciding with the pharma supply zone, right? तो हमारा मानना है कि अगर हम फार्मा सेक्टर को सप्लाई में आने देते हैं और उस समय पे डॉक्टर रेड्डी भी अगर ये 75 मिनट के सप्लाई में आता है, then it becomes a good correlation with the stock and sector both hitting at the same time, and that will make this trade play out beautifully if both the sector and the stock hit the supply zone at the same time. हो सकता है कि पहले सेक्टर सप्लाई में पहले जाए, या हो सकता है कि डॉक्टर रेड्डी पहले सेक्टर से पहले सप्लाई जोन में जाए, बट अगर दोनों एक साथ हिट होते हैं, then that's going to be a very, very good combination of timing the entry on Dr. Reddy. Alright, let's bring up the open interest charts now. So this is the open interest for the Nifty, and let me just minimize this so that you can all see the graphs and the charts. So we are seeing a little bit of call writing now at the 18,000 levels, but we are currently more or less closer to the 17,650, 17,700 handle. As I speak right now, SGX Nifty is trading very, very close to the 17,700 handle. तो अगर निफ्टी को यहाँ से ऊपर जाना है, so it will have to cross 800, 900 and then the 18,000 barrier. Can that happen? Absolutely yes. But will that happen this week? May not happen this week. Now what is also more interesting to see is that if you look at the open interest on the put side, there is some solid put writing that has happened today as well on the 17,500 and 17,600 handle as well. So if this put side bar or tower increases over a period of time, then we can maintain a little bit of a bullish bias on the Nifty, which means that the Nifty range for the week will be between 17,600 to 18,000. Of course, now that can always change over a period of time, because अगर हम देखें तो 17,000 पे सबसे ज़्यादा पुट का ओपन इंटरेस्ट है. It means that the market has a very, very strong support at 17,000, but we are nearly 600 to 700 points away from 17,000 level. So we need to watch out for 17,500, 600, and then the levels at the top will be 18,000. So we can potentially say that market will remain range bound between 17,500 to 18,000 for this week on the Nifty. If you look at the Bank Nifty is painting a slightly different picture. We are currently closer to 39,800 levels, and the highest open interest is at 40,000 levels. So we are just around 200 points away from the 40,000 handle, and 40,000 being a round number, यहाँ से काफ़ी profit booking आ सकता है, right? Because it's 40,000 psychological number, and when market hits these bigger psychological numbers, we might see institutions do some kind of a profit booking. If you look at the put side open interest is at 39,000. So we can make an assumption here that market की जो range है वो 39,000 से लेकर 40,000 के range में market इस हफ्ते में रह सकता है. So this is the weekly open interest for this week's expiry, which is the 8th of September, right? And it's 1,000 points, and 1,000 points is a pretty reasonable range for the Bank Nifty to move. Okay. All right. So this is more or less the analysis for the week. I hope you enjoyed. If you do like our analysis, as I always said, please subscribe to our channel or hit the like button. See you all next week with some better analysis. Till then, keep a watch on the pharma sector and Dr. Reddy. See you guys. Have a lovely week. Bye-bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.